Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to our Navamsa chart video. And this week we are going to be discussing of what happens when you have a Gemini ascendant in Navamsa chart. So, as you all know, especially those who are followers of Vedic astrology, that this particular divisional chart known as Navamsa chart becomes the most important chart. It is a chart that shows the heart of your planets. It shows how strong the heart is beating. You know, somebody can look beautiful, like you know, I forgot the name of that bodybuilder. I think his name is Rick Piana, or was it someone else? I don't know. I don't think it was Rick. Like a bodybuilder who pretty much had a heart attack at 32, 34. And yet they were like big muscular bodybuilder. Okay? And God, I hope you don't see this dog hair on me. They're always going to be here, so stop complaining. I keep running out of the stupid tape, so shut up. Okay, so this bodybuilder died, but he was a big guy. I mean, if you saw him, you're like, oh my God, I don't want to mess with this guy. So some of the planets come out as his bodybuilders in the birth chart. Like, oh man, I've got the planet. But then you check the heart of that planet. And you're like, my God, your heart is very weak. You know? What do they call that condition? Cardiomyopathy. Oh, you got cardiomyopathy big time or something. And because your blood vessels are so weak and heart is weak, boom, the person dies at a very young age. But you can be a puny little skinny guy like me, but then you can have a heart of a lion. You can live till you're 94 and a good healthy life. This is where Navamsa comes into play. Navamsa shows that inner juice of your being. So if you're new to a Vedic astrology and you do not know what your Navamsa planets are and what your other astrological details are in Vedic astrology, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, where on the second page you'll see your Navamsa chart, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction Aspects, and Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, including all my consultations here and my Navamsa consultations at this link as well. So, Gemini ascendant for Navamsa rising. So that means Gemini ascendant will always occur in the third pada of certain nakshatras. So I'm going to repeat this again. We know that the nakshatra occurs in the third pada of certain nakshatras in the birth chart. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just don't worry about it. Just go to your Navamsa straight. But the tithi, the karkavastha, the karka tattva of the Navamsa changes. And Gemini rising in Navamsa will always bring in the fire, air, and earth energy. That means it's lacking that emotional energy within the Navamsa. And so what this shows, first of all, just knowing that you're a Gemini ascendant shows, and especially remember, Navamsa is not just a chart of marriage, but it also represents the development of your planets, the second half of your life. So knowing this context shows a person will become very skillful. And a person will have to be skillful in marriage. Your marriage will require you to have some skills. Like you may, be a rich person, but somehow, some way, marriage will require you to have skills of plumbing and gardening, skills of fixing this and that within the home. And marriage without communication for you will be the abortion of unionship. Again, I'm going to repeat that. Marriage without communication will be the abortion of the unionship in your life. If you are the type of person who does not want to communicate, if you're the type of person who does not like to truly express their feelings within the relationship, then you're setting yourself up for a loss. Now, you could be a Gemini ascendant and not talk. This is where planets come into play. The other thing we see, there's a strong emotional connection with the wealth that you accumulate within the marriage. Meaning, the money you make within the marriage, it holds more value to you. The money that you make in your second half of life will hold more value to you than money that you may have earned early in life or through your parents. And money definitely comes in for Gemini person. These people most definitely display a very dynamic, very superior way of communicating within the marriage. It's kind of like when they discuss something in the marriage, it's like a lion talking to a deer. They're like, hey, so what's happening? What did you just buy this week? And why did you buy it? Oh, you bought it for this one. Okay. I really wish you discussed it with me. Their communication can be very authoritative in nature, especially within the marriage itself. However, these are the people who will nitpick and budget the household. For them, because they're so emotionally connected to their wealth, they're gonna wanna nitpick everything of what they buy, what they spend their money on, where the bill is going. There's a natural stinginess that comes in when trying to spend money. They want to hoard everything. And naturally, one will be giving their service to the home life, home after marriage, not before. Not your parents, family, or siblings. I'm talking about after your marriage, you will be in service to your home. Your life will become about giving your service to the home with or without your consent, with or without your permission, with or without your liking. But as much as they are nitpicky, they are always open for romance. They love spontaneous romance. And they, especially being on spontaneous, they want to suddenly be surprised with certain romantic gestures within the marriage. And they have a very balanced intelligence when it comes to dealing with the issues of the marriage. If the spouse is happy, not happy, spouse need to be, convinced of something. They're very balanced at that. They don't dominate in such case. They will become balanced. They will take the initiative of being subservient in that moment. And they love investing with their spouse. Such people are like, hey, hon, let's put our money into this. Let's put our money into that. They can't do it alone. They don't want to do it alone. They always need that camaraderie, that partnership, that support, that, okay, go, let's do it. Like they just feel empty if they try to go and have fun on their own. So these people, especially in the second half of their life, they will not necessarily not want to be alone, but they just do not want to enjoy things without the company of people. Not just the spouse, the company of people. But definitely, now this is where it can, get a little negative here, that they have some karma related to debts, karma related to their maternal aunts and uncle. Perhaps they lent their money to their aunts and uncles, never got it back. One may get into debt because of the fact they want to, spend their money onto their home furniture, this and that. So that karma is there. But especially one of the things that they always face, it's like, just imagine Gemini. Gemini is a dual sign, right? So imagine one energy here, one energy here. And it's like they're in this like wave of this thin red line. And so there's always karma related to some major dispute within the marriage. There's always some major dispute or fight that occurs. And most of the time it can, if a fight is severe enough, it can even lead to separation. But the thing is, as soon as dispute comes in for a Gemini Navamsa, the lion comes out. The karma of lion become activated. Now, think about what I'm saying here. When these people know that they're about to get into some fight, some dispute, whether it's with their spouse, their business partner, some co-workers, the lion will come out. And the lion will eat the deer. That's how the nature works. Unless, of course, lion is old and weak and not able to really run after the deer as much. And there's always some sort of a mutation that occurs within the marriage. Something unusual comes out of some normalcy within the marriage. What it is, well, that depends upon how the planets are placed. But always some things which are normal kind of become abnormal. But these people, as a Navamsa ascendant, being a Gemini Navamsa, they take pride and they become very serious about joining their ventures, joining their assets. They only look for someone who can increase their joint assets. So besides communication, they're communicating with you because they want to find out that, hey, are you capable of giving me increase in my bank balance? It'll be mine, it'll be yours, will be one pot, but are you able to fill the pot? Am I the one who's going to be filling the pot the whole time? And it's usually after marriage, regardless of how your relationship is with your in-laws, the relationship with the in-laws turns into a business relationship. Very professional relationship. But such people, especially through experience of their in-laws, have a very eccentric view of religion and spirituality. Gemini person is probably the least person that gets affected being swindled into some religious activity or spiritual activity. They only follow wherever the wind is. Remember what I'm saying here. They only follow wherever the wind is. Wherever they want to go, they will go. No matter how much you try to persuade them, no matter how much you try to market your belief system upon them, they will not care. But one day, if they're just bored out of their mind, they're like, all right, I'm going to do this. They're going to do it. They're not going to need your, convincing to have them believe in something. They may just believe your things, but only on their own time. And any religion that takes them away from being in a universal setting and to become more egocentric, that universal centric, they will not go for that at all. However, no matter how bad the relationship is, no matter how good the relationship is, for other people, these people will always come out as the most calm, happy, loving couple. That's like the foundation, without even looking at the planets. They will always have this reputation of being the sweetest couple out there. Whether in their own four doors, they're constantly arguing. Outside, they will be, they will have a very good reputation in that sense. And especially in your second half of life, you will make quite impulsive, adventurous, and bold network circles and friends. It's their habit. Like because you're so adventurous yourself, your communications and skill set that you acquire, you only acquire that because of your interaction with your network circles, making like joint committees to, hey, let's all 15 of us go to Himalayas and we'll hike to the first summit and we'll come back. All right, let's do it. Okay, then we got to get some skills going here. We got to learn how to do mountain climbing, make the tent, make this, make that. What if this fails? Okay, let's get the skill of that going. So their skill set, their neediness to skill set always depends upon the friends that they make. And these people love, and I mean love, seeking pleasure through foreign travels. For them, some of their most memorable affairs, memorable encounters, memorable food, memorable moment will take place in foreign places, foreign lands, more than their own homeland. Now, in the dynamics of this Navamsa, if you are a fire energy in the birth chart, you're like the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius ascendant. Well, the thing is, the passion increases. Your passion increases in life for whatever that you want. You suddenly are able to acquire the skills to achieve what you want to achieve in your birth chart. So let's say, for example, somebody wants to be a president of the country. And they always dwell on it. Okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. But only later in life, they're like, you know what? In order for me to do this, I have to have these skill set. So I'll acquire them. And once I do, I will be able to become the president. In the Earth Padha, the second Padha of this ascendant, again, this is not the Padha system as you know. These people, first of all, they come up as somebody who's very practical, all about finance, money, all about wanting to have a secure life. Okay? But only after marriage or in their second half of life, they take advantage of what they have accumulated. So you've been working, right? You're 40 years old. You're an investment banker. You have worked 16 hours a day for the past 16 years. You accumulated $3, $4, $5 million. Or let's say you accumulated $50 million. But suddenly you wake up one day. You're like, what the hell am I doing? I have accumulated all this money for what? What am I doing? I'm just going to the office. I'm going to kill myself. And boom, suddenly this change comes in. The earth creature suddenly starts flying. They want to go and do photography of the mountains, and they want to go experience that. Then they just become complete bonker loco. Like, okay, I have to just go out and experience life now. Because if I don't experience life, what am I going to do with this wealth? And then there's the air energy with Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, where their attitude towards life always stays foundational. Even marriage circumstances will only change and deter it just a little bit. Like here. It won't be like that and that. You see what I'm saying? Look at this, that and that. But it'll just be like this. They will just be like, those people who constantly experience same things in their life. And without too many, hiccups, too many dramatic changes. So the air stays free. The motto of life stays free. Motto of life starts from communication and ends with communication. So that's how we understand these two Navamsas. But once you get into the planets, that's when it just becomes beautiful. But it's like a scarlet letter. It is a letter, but it could be a letter of bad news. as much as you were waiting for Scarlett to send this letter to you, you receive it, but it is what it is. That's the thing. And so, of course, in a few weeks or a month, we will get into the planetary aspect. And that's when, that's when we'll really understand the beauty of Navamsa. Okay? So in the meantime, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below so you don't miss those videos. Otherwise, if you need books, reports, consultations, go to this link here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.